We are the one, the light in the dark. One heart, one world, one spark. We are the one, together we rise. One dream, one voice, one sky.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Women Empowered Across the World. And it's our podcast. And I want to just give my host, my podcast host, a chance to say who they are. And then I'm going to introduce you to our guest. And Megan, you want to come and share?
Thank you, Carol, and hello, everyone. Nice to be here with everyone again, and glad that you're joining us today. I'm Megan, based in Cape Town, South Africa, an advocate for global literacy and a multi-passionate entrepreneur, loves music, and absolutely loves working with youth. Thank you very much.
Beautiful. And Jackie.
I'm Jackie Ziccoli, residing in Arizona with my mind in Africa and other parts of the world to bring resources to the underserved population to increase love, prosperity, and peace.
Yeah. And I'm Carol Witt, and I'm the founder and director for YEA Global. Guys, we are now in 54 countries, 37 are in Africa, and we teach a thriving mindset. Everyone deserves to thrive. Okay, and so I have Monica Freeman as our guest today, and this is a special day for her, and she's going to tell us her story. And I'm so glad, Monica, that you could join us and be a part of this. This is an amazing platform for women to share their story and inspire many out there.
Yes.
In going after their goals and their dreams. And Monica, you are someone that did that. So we want to hear your story, okay?
Awesome. First of all, Carol, thank you for having me. Such a blessing, to be with you, Megan and Jackie. And yes, so who is Monica Freeman? I am a master certified nutritional coach. And I am helping women to lose up to 50 pounds within 20 weeks, without losing their taste and time in the kitchen. And but particularly looking to help serve women who are not feeling themselves, have a disconnect from themselves, and want to repair like the self relationship, how they see themselves, and those internal messages that are conscious or subconscious that I found myself in when I was losing 82 pounds. And I had to literally become someone else. And I think that's true of every goal that we have, that we somehow have to make that quantum leap from where we are in our mindset, where we are in our drive and motivation, to over that gap to where we want to be, the mindset we want to have, the motivation we really need. And so to do that, we have to almost step into this different person. You have to like craft a different identity, and that you see yourself in and walk in that like it's already there. And so my story, wow. Let me just start. First of all, I have to intertwine YEA and my story. Listen, they are definitely a part of my history, as the saying might go. But when I came to YEA, I had been forced into a forced resignation from my job. I had been on a journey to become a teacher, right? And after being in corporate America for some time, and I finally got my certification in 2019. And people think I'm a retired teacher when they see me, but literally I just recently got it, and not that long ago. And walked in and was ready and excited and all of those things. And for different reasons, I know that I was there for this one particular student who told me that I changed their life. And they were 12. And so for them to say that was my payoff. But and I wasn't even that wasn't even my background to teach middle school. They just needed someone who could deal with different behaviors, and I was that person. And so I walked into that position, and then I don't even exactly know the reason even today, but as hurtful as that was, to kind of be put in a position to walk away, I thought, well, I've served, I've done what I needed to do. But by the time I walked away, I walked into YEA. And when I did, I took all my wounds with me. That experience brought me to a place where I didn't really know myself. I didn't really feel that energetic person that I love to be around. Like I was just like a shell of myself, and it was going downhill from there. And I've had, like others, depression and different things happen to me before, that puts us sometimes in a slumped kind of place. But I could tell this was going to be one where I needed some help. And YEA was for me that step that said, hey, it was like, okay, let's shake this girl and let her see there's a different way of thinking. She has different possibilities, more possibilities in front of her. And they challenged me in areas, and they sparked places in me that made me think. And the energy from the group was one that I needed. It was like a triage. So that, from not wanting to be on camera to now here talking to you the way I am, feeling comfortable, it really did start from a downward place and not feeling good about myself. And so I am now able to share with people a little bit of my journey. And I guess I so many different places I could start, but I want to say that my mom is my muse for my being a nutritional coach right now, for women. And as a baby, she hid me for about a year on a college campus. And I ended up being raised by my paternal grandparents. Both my parents thought they could hide a baby. Don't ask me, I don't know. But and so I want to just tell you that to kind of give you the backdrop of things, and let you know that my beautiful grandmother made sure that I had a relationship with my mother, but we didn't grow up in those bonding years. So it was later in my life, like in my teenage years, that we started getting really close, and it was a wonderful thing. But growing up as a kid with two sets of parents, I was like, I don't want this one to feel bad if I spend time with this one. I don't want this one to feel bad if I spend time with this one. I love them both. What do I do? And it was very emotionally draining for me, right? A kid. And so here I am now. My grandmother has transitioned to be with the Lord, and it's just my mom and I. And for the first time, I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. I don't even have to feel guilty, and we can just really love on each other. And little did I know, my private mother was diagnosed with the C word. I don't even like bringing it up. I don't like it in my space, but she did not tell me. I did not know. So I'm getting ready to go home one Christmas, really excited to be going home, hadn't been in a minute. And I get there, and my mom is in the hospital. And I'm like, what do you mean she's in the hospital? And so to speed this up, I'm sitting at her bedside, and I'm like, Mom, you didn't want me to know? You didn't want me to know? This is going to be hard for me to tell this, guys, without crying. So, but I'm going to try. And so she couldn't talk. So she shook her head. She shook her head no, that it wasn't that she didn't want me to know. And I was like, then, in my head, I'm thinking, why didn't somebody tell me? And So here I am thinking, this is going to be my time with my mom. And then all of a sudden it snapped. And so, of course, I'm there for her. Of course, I stay the night. I spend days. I go back and forth. I do all the things. And then I realized that I'm going to have to accept the fact that she is likely going to transition. In that time, we had her moved from one hospital to another. And she really wanted the breathing machine, the thingy taken out of her throat so she could talk. And I keep pointing here, but it was the tube they put down your mouth. I can't even, respirator situation. And she would beg me almost with her eyes, with her hands, to please convince my father to take it out. And he just thought that was just inhumane. And I thought to myself, this is my chance to hear from my mom. I don't even know if her voice is going to be working. And she's okay with being in transition. Please take this out. And that did not happen. So I looked at my mom and I said, Mom, I said, whatever you want me to know and whatever you want to say to me, say it to me with your eyes. And I promise you, I'm listening. And I know that one day God is going to tell me everything that you're saying. And I want you to know that I love you. And I don't want you to feel bad about sending me to my grandparents, you know, when after you had me, because nobody harmed me. Everybody took great care of me. So that's a plus. And you were young. I don't want you to be feeling these things. And so she did just that. She spoke with me, you guys, through her eyes. And I would nod my head to let her know I was listening. And there are some things that I know that she was telling me now. And after that happened, and I had to deal with the fact that this beautiful woman that was mistreated as a young girl because she was so dark-skinned, that kept herself tight, everything tight to her, because she always wanted her dad to stop drinking and to just love on them, her and her sisters. And this woman that held so much that I wanted to get to know, that I needed to get to know, was gone. And all these visions that I had of us spending all this time together, because before she passed, about a year before she passed, I was divorced. And we spent some time together. She was like, oh, Monica, you're so brave and all the things that you're doing. And I don't know how I would never be able to do these things. And I sit here now as an empty nester and I'm thinking, my mom could be here. And so this brings me to why I must be on this mission to help women. My mother passed. My grandmother passed, who was very dear to me also. I called her Mama. When they were in the room together, she was Mama, and my mother was Mom. So they knew who I was addressing. And my mama passed on the 18th of May, which was my wedding day. my dear grandfather, who was also daddy, and my father was dad. Daddy passed on the 18th of September. 18 has always been a special day. And my mom almost made it to the 18th and passed on the 17th of January, 2012. And when I realized or heard that my mom had passed, I remember I was laying on the couch, and I remember waking from a sleep, and my chest went, and it wasn't until later that I was told that that was the very hour that my mother had made her transition. Even in her passing, that umbilical cord was still connected. The only time I ever saw my mother cry or give me a little insight into what she might have been feeling, and that made me say, Mom, please don't feel guilty, was when I had my youngest son, and she said to me as she was looking at me, rocking him, she started to whimper, not cry, but whimper. And I was like, Mom, what's the matter? And she said, they took my baby. And I was like, Mom. And then she stopped and she was like, but Monica, it was the right thing, I know, but I don't know why I even did that. And she just would not allow herself to be open. I know that there was a time in my life where I was sliding into this cocoon-ish life and being too self-judgmental and all these different things, right? And I thought about my mom. I thought about how I had self-sabotaged myself in the goals that I wanted and my health goals as well. And when I found myself not being able to do simple things without, breathing hard, or I felt like I was stuck and I couldn't seem to get my mind out of this low vibration of myself. I thought about my mom. I thought about all the secrets she held. I thought about some of the pain that I knew that she wouldn't cry out about. I thought about how all of those things made her body dis-ease. And I thought, you know what? Any woman that is out there feeling what I felt about myself, or feeling in any way like my mom, I don't care what their goals are. I just happen to be in health and wellness. I just happen to be your weight loss coach for now, because I know there's something bigger and larger for me coming. But for any goal that any woman has, I'm here to help her elevate her mindset first in a way that builds so much traction she doesn't have to worry about slipping. Because once you get there, you are there. You are where you want to be, wherever that is, whatever the goal is. And so picked had to talk to myself and say, girl, pick yourself up. YEA was that boost that I needed to say, hey, no, there's another way of thinking. And like the little engine that could, they brought me up enough to where I was like, you know what? The air is different up here. Maybe there is something I can do. Maybe there is a different way for me to see things. And so I before I got to YEA, I had been able to lose lose the weight, YEA brought me to this atmosphere of you could actually be an entrepreneur. You could actually serve other women. Like you could actually wake up to a whole new possibilities that may not have anything to do with education. You could do anything. And that's why I'm here. And that's why I feel my mom's presence right now saying, Monica, go. Like just go. Unleash yourself and do all the things that I wanted to do. And then some. And impact lives as you go. I am determined, and I'm going to say this on record. I am determined to have such, not the only one, but to be among the ones to have such a valuable, life-changing, transformational mindset renewal. I don't even want to call it a program, just a renewing, a mindset renewing, that I am at the top of the list when people think of how do I get myself out of this mental rut and get busy living. And if they happen to want to lose weight, I'm going to be their girl. If they happen to want nutritional coaching, I'm going to be their girl. If they happen to be a young woman over 30 who's trying to get into her wedding dress and wants to know about covenant coaching in a covenant relationship from a biblical standpoint, I am their girl. And businesses will seek me out for mindset renovation. And books will go across the world because that was prophesied to me that I have them right here. And I've already written like 2. So I know that God has big things for me. And I know that God has big things for every woman under the sound of my voice, wherever you are, whenever you hear this, nothing about that changes. You are a living miracle. The fact that you are even here, the odds you were against just to be here, you are a living miracle. And you came packaged with something that I can't give, that no one else in your family can give. There's nobody but nobody that will ever be or was ever before or will be right now. You're the only one we have of you. And we need you, just like I need my mom. The world missed out on something I just got a chance to see a little bit of. A miraculous, wonderful one. If she were here right now, my mom would feel every one of your feelings. And if you just were to say one little thing like, oh my gosh, I got this splinter while we're talking, this would be my mother. Oh no, really? Oh my gosh, let me see. That was my mom. The compassion and I don't know, the way she connected to people's emotions. The compassion was over 10. It didn't matter who you were. Yeah. We would go places and people would be, like, your mom knew all those people? And I'd be like, nope, never met them before. But she would come away like that. And then when you want to just get a closer relationship or getting close, she was just kind of private, but a wonderful woman. And so I don't want anybody to miss their mothers. I don't want anybody to miss their goals and dreams. I don't want anybody to miss the gems and their sisters and their nieces and their cousins and their sisters. I don't want them to miss any of it. And I want to be that catalyst for women. So I'm excited.
Monica. Oh, wow. Wow.
I'm
And
excited.
I want to say one thing, and that is this. Your mom isn't missed inside of, because your mom's in you.
She is.
And that is, you're going to carry her on. You're going to carry her. Your mom isn't missed. She's coming through you. So just know that, because who you are is somebody that's going to make so big of an impact in the world. And your mom is going to look down and go, that's my girl. Yeah. So just know, you just keep bringing your mom to the surface.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I am so thrilled that we were able to do the podcast today on your special day, the 18th of the month.
Thank you.
Thank you for thank you guys for making it happen. Really, thank you.
Yes. Thank you so very much, guys.
Okay. Does anybody have a question for her? Oh, what an amazing story. And dear one, you didn't have to worry at all that you wouldn't get it right, or you would forget what you wanted to say. It was so in your heart. It so came from your heart. Thank you. Thank you for this beautiful, inspirational life story of yours.
Yes.
It was really wonderful. Like, thank you for like speaking from your heart. Like, I really appreciate that fact, because like a lot of women can't speak. It feels like they have been too hurt at a certain level where they can't talk anymore. And you coming out, and even though you come from that place, that dark place that a lot of people talk about, you come and you are able to still shine and thrive. That is so inspirational. And I want you to, I don't want to ask a question. I want you to give an advice to somebody going through that. I know there's a lot of women, not only women, like a lot of people going through the same situation because of maybe their parents abandoned them. They thought they have about that is restricting them from thriving. Please, what advice can you give to them after going out from that dark place? What advice can you give to them for them to be able to go out of that place too? Thank you.
Oh, yeah. I think that is such a wonderful question. Oh, I'm so touched by that question, first of all. So thank you. And to the baby girls who are out there feeling abandoned, and the baby boys, that little person in you is still there. Abandonment can rise up at any time and in any space in your life. That feeling, it doesn't take much of a trigger to make you feel like, even subconsciously, it'll trigger this feeling of abandonment, and it will have you react to it in certain ways that you don't even realize that it's coming from that place, right? So my first advice would be to befriend it. My first advice would be to just say, you know what? Hello. I know you, and I know where and whence you come. And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay for you to sit here. It's okay for you to feel what you feel. It's okay for you to be sad, angry, all the things. But we're not going to leave you here. And the next thing I would say, because my business is based on the Word of God, and so for whatever religion or belief system people have, totally respect that. But for me, it's God and the Word of God. And so I would say go to your anchor of faith, but I can only share from mine. And so what I had to do, when I really was in that sunken low place and abandonment was coming up, I was feeling very much alone. I I had to go to the manufacturer with an earnest heart. The human body, human mankind manufacturer. And I said to him, I need to know what self-love really is right now. And I don't need it to be a cliche. I don't need it to be something that makes me sound like I'm really, really smart, because this feeling of abandonment is real. Like, I'm left alone again, pushed out of my job when I know I was doing a good one, and just having things snatched. And it's leaving me feeling empty and sad. I can't keep putting the remedy for my abandonment out there, because obviously that's not working. So I need some self-love, as it's called here, and I'm gonna need it for real, for real. Like, for real. And when I started that journey, he took me into the scripture that says, I will never leave you or forsake you. And I had to sit with that for a minute, because you can get married and have these vows. And as we can see, the rate is 70% of divorce, and I'm among them. So we can say a lot of vows. But this was a commitment that I was reading, and I was led to let that really, really sink in. And when I did, and I looked around, and I was like, there's nobody in this room right now but me. There's nobody in this room right now but me. And I have asked him to equip me with something that cannot be taken from me. I need to not feel abandoned. And I'm with me every day. So I better get the self-relationship thing going. And I sat in that as if I needed it, as if it was all I had, as if I have to cling on to this and I have to let it get there. And I wouldn't let it go until it did.
Beautiful.
And I had to keep repeating it. But first is to recognize it, befriend it. It's there to try to, it's really, the desire is to try to save you from being abandoned, or going through the issues of it. So you want to welcome it first, and you want to say, okay, it's okay. It's okay. And let that little girl who feels abandoned be there. Let that little boy be there. It's okay. Just don't let them stay there, and let them get anchored into what's truth, which is you are never, ever, ever, ever alone. Never alone.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Megan, do you have a question for her or a comment?
Absolutely. Monica, thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you for just not allowing that flame to die out, because we know how easy it is for some people just to get into that place where they feel so alone, so abandoned, so neglected, and
yes,
so unsure of their future that they move in a different direction. And also just something you said very early about rediscovery of self. You put emphasis on that, and I just want to thank you for making sure you put that out there, because that is one of the big parts of what I bring across in my youth space, is the fact that you need to know who you are. You need to know what you're grounded in. You need to know all of those things before anything happens, before you bloom. That's what you need to discover. So I love the fact that you brought that up so early in your story for us. And then lastly, mindset renovation. I don't think there's a better word for this. So thank you very much for that. I wrote that down.
Well,
oh gosh, guys.
Monica,
Yes.
you're amazing. You're
No.
amazing. And I'm so thrilled that you were brought into my life. And so
Same here.
you were brought into my life. And many people are going to be very thrilled that you were a guest on this today, with us today. thank you so much for making this work. Because guys, this
Thank you.
actually going to happen today, and we made it happen. And so thank you guys for staying and being a part of this.
Yeah.
It was very special, very, very special,
Oh,
very special in my heart right now.
oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
So anyway, guys, please, please share this episode with everyone. Share it with everyone. Let it touch
Yeah.
their hearts, and especially people that really need to hear it. Please,
Yeah.
please share it. Please comment. Please, please join us again for more episodes. These
Yeah.
episodes just keep getting just just grab my heart every time. I hope that it is going to make such a difference for so many young people out there that are struggling with abandonment, mm, and are looking for the way up.
Yes.
That's really and truly what you just opened that door to. So thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. If it's okay, can I say one little last thing,
Yes,
Carol?
absolutely.
Um, yeah, I just want to thank you, Carol, because this is the day was special, and the fact that you honored it. It would have been all three of them on the 18th, and my mom was just there, but they're both days that are special, but I just knew when you said the 18th, my heart just did a dance. And so I'm so grateful that you did that for me. It means so much to me. And I just want to leave people with this word that in your truest self, you really want to know what love really is. And I've had some revelations on that. And I want you to just open yourself up, because you can get some too. And just ask, just ask, just ask to have that self-love, ask to not feel abandoned, even in a room alone, ask to know really deeply what love really means and looks like. We all want these things, but if you know what a cantaloupe is, but your friend doesn't, and you say, go to the store and get one, they're going to have to ask to get it. And so just be open to asking. And lastly, the other reason why this was so important, this day was so important for me is because it's a day that signifies a release of my fear. And I'm launching this business. And I can't tell you how much of a fearful thing that is or was. I'm going to talk past tense. That's something else that I'll be teaching my clients. But yes. And so today is the day. And so I'm going to be launching this 5-day challenge. And thank you guys for even letting me mention it here. But and it's really focused on getting women to be present and focus on the one thing, right? And so instead of looking at all 5 days, I call it the 1 day to the 5th power challenge, basically. And it's to help you get a jump start on your New Year's resolution, so that you resolve now. And when the new year comes in, you already are ahead of the game. But it's called the 1 day because you have a list of these one little things that you do, and you can get them all done, from all the movements to all the eating, all the meals, in less than 35 minutes in your day. Wow. So, and you can break them up and do them anytime you want to, but I just want you to focus on the 1 minute of this, the 1 minute of that. That's it. And if you happen to wake up and you see the sun, that means you have a day. And all you have to do is add 1 day to your one thing. And so the sun means, okay, I got a day. I'm going to do the one thing this day. So it gets the momentum and stuff going. But I just wanted to put that out there because I will be plastering that on everywhere, and I wanted to say it on this podcast because of my dear friend Carol. This means a lot to me to even launch it with Carol. So thank you guys so much.
So Monica, please send me the information around all of that and
Okay.
your contact information, and I will put it in the description so people can reach out to you.
Okay, absolutely. I will.
Text me, send that to me, and I'll make sure that it goes up in this episode. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much once again. And this is our podcast, guys. And this is, I've lost track. Is this episode 11? Or is it 11? 11. We have hit 11 episodes now. Oh, how exciting is that?
That's so awesome.
Everybody join us for more episodes. Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
When we stand